Let's speak to our correspondent, Gulliver Cragg, to find out more. Hello to you, Gulliver. Tell us, another morning of Russian attacks on infrastructure. What is the latest?
Well, the first of two long periods of air alert across the whole of Ukraine just came to an end, and so the news is coming in about where missiles hit and where they were shot down. It looks as though the west of the country has been particularly badly affected this morning. The electricity distribution company Ukrenergo says that the effects of this morning's attacks in western Ukraine could actually be even worse than the effects of those of the 10th and 11th of October, when this sustained campaign of targeting Ukraine's electricity infrastructure by the Russians started. What they're targeting is mostly electricity distribution stations, and that means that there are power cuts in many western regions of Ukraine. Rivne, Lutsk regions, Khmelnytsky were all targeted this morning. But there are also reports of a very successful morning for Ukraine's air defense forces. According to their spokesman, 18 cruise missiles fired by Russia this morning were shot down out of a total of, I think, 33. So more than half of them were shot down. But the sheer volume of missiles being fired means that quite a lot of them also hit their targets.
And Gulliver, how is the country coping with these outages, with these attacks?
Well, as I said, it's mostly the transformation stations, electricity substations, that are being hit. Some of the equipment there, the high voltage transformers, is equipment that cannot be replaced even within a year. But lower voltage transformers and other parts of the system can be repaired reasonably quickly. In terms of connecting up reserve lines, it's a matter of hours or sometimes a few days, which means that so far the power cuts have been relatively short-lived, the ones that happen unexpectedly at any rate. And then there are scheduled power cuts as the power companies explain that they need to cut the power off at this and this time in order to carry out short-term repairs. But the question is, how much can the grid take? How much more damage can the grid take? And there are sort of ideas being floated about possibly just reducing the voltage of the whole system across Ukraine, which would then possibly allow Ukraine to quite quickly get second-hand transformers from European countries in order to replace the more higher voltage transformers that can't be replaced more quickly. But that is still going to be a question of weeks or months. And so really at the moment, the whole country is running on reserve lines. And the main thing that's happening is that Ukrainians are being beseeched to really, really drastically cut their consumption of electricity. So far, quite a lot of people seem to be responding to the call. And then there are also people scrambling to get alternative sources of electricity in terms of buying generators and solar panels. All of those things seem to be pretty much sold out already, actually, across Ukraine after the events of recent days.
All right, Gulliver, thank you very much. Gulliver Cragg reporting from Kyiv.